me begin by clarifying that I'm not exactly the best student in the whole world. I will have to admit that my GPA is lower than my self-esteem, and in my early high school years, not that high. For personal reasons, I'm going to chalk this up to poor mental health because, god dang, is the dehydrated water origin story a lot more depressing than it looks. Now, I'm a senior in high school, and as of recording this, graduation is only roughly 4 weeks away, meaning that I'm only a smidgen away from leaving this living metaphor for Dante's Inferno that is my high school. There are 9 total glaring issues I have with this high school. More that I couldn't even fit into this video. Don't even get me started on the plastic dividers and my speech teacher, or the organs. The musical instrument, not the actual fleshy. Some of these topics I'm going to go over are a bit more on the serious side, and others are more lighthearted because this is a comedy YouTube channel and I have to work that aspect in somehow. Choosing to leave the title of said high school completely ambiguous because they have the tendency to take down things they don't entirely like on the internet. I also don't want to accidentally start an online smear campaign with the very small following I have. As much as I would proudly talk down about my high school, I'd rather not be sued for defamation. Like Riley once told me, you'd rather be safe than sued. For legal reasons, I would like to clarify that I do not have any malicious intentions in the making of this video. I censored many names, titles, other things. This is just a video. Aiden! What the hell? Go away. No, I do not have any AAA batteries. Now is not a good time. I told you I was in the middle of a thing, and tonight I interrupt that thing, and here you are doing exactly what I told you not to do. You're an asshole. Yeah, and I gave you very clear and explicit instructions. Whatever. This is just a video essay on the experiences I had at this quote-unquote fine institution. Similar to the likes of a movie review, except it's on, the entirety of my high school. And the movie's 4 years long. And boring. There are just a lot of things in this high school that have rubbed me off in the wrong way. As a person with access to recording equipment, a green screen, and a ring light, probably see it off the reflection of my glasses, isn't that cool? I need to complain. So let's start with the first glaring issue that led me down to making this video in the first place. How in the living Snapple facts do you lose an entire credit? You need that for graduation. It is the entire reason we are here. Here's the point I'm going to make right now and then repeat multiple times throughout this video. The school administration team and counselors have no idea how to properly do their job. Now, for a little bit of context, I did fail my Biology 1 Semester 2. Whoopsie doodles, I suppose. Bright side, my school offers multiple credit recovery courses that I could take to recover my credit. In my sophomore year of high school, I took the Biology 1 Semester 2 credit recovery course, and I got almost there. Then this little quirky thing happened. I don't know if you've heard of it. It was called COVID-19. It's a bit of an underground phenomenon. My school sent everyone home for the rest of the semester, and being the depressed little munchkin I was, I didn't do anything except lay in bed, watch The Mandalorian, and eat potato chips. And I regret none of it. Luckily, since no one really expected the world to cave in on itself and then explode in a fiery blitz past everyone that quarter. So in my junior year, I had to finish up what I had left of my Biology 1 Semester 2 credit recovery course. And I did it pretty quickly. It only took me like a week. Pretty easy. I managed to recover my Biology 1 credit. There you go. I understand the fundamentals of alleles, genetic diversity, and what a dead rat smells like. Thank you, school. But I would really enjoy if you explained it to me, why my counselor looked me in the eye and told me that I needed to take the course again my senior year. for the 4th time. He pulled me into his office and he said, "Listen, bud, this is what you need to graduate." Huzzah! I thought to myself. I didn't know I was going to graduate and I wasn't planning for this outcome. I was a candidate for worst senioritis in my high school yearbook for a reason. He handed me a slip of paper of all the credits I've accumulated over the years and had absolutely no mention of a Biology 1 credit recovery course. So now I have to go through the whole course and complete it a 2nd time in order to graduate. But you know, that's not that big of a deal. I mean, I could just suffer through it, you know, take it, and then, you know, just, it's not that big of a deal. You know, I did it once, I can do it again. Except, it's not there. That's where it's supposed to be. Where? That's where it should be. It's gone? I brought this up with my counselor and he said, "Well, it's on your schedule." Then where is it? Double check the schedule! It's not there! The schedule's a liar! So now I'm being stressed with the immense burden that I need to somehow prove that I have already passed the Biology 1 credit recovery course, or I simply won't be able to graduate. That is why I'm writing the entirety of the script at 2:07 in the morning. I'm having a mental breakdown. So I emailed the teacher who was proctoring my credit recovery course. You know, it should have been easy.
"Jason, when you were in my classroom last year, 5th hour, you were taking Earth space."
Wow! Okay, a real punch in the gut that one was. That hurt my feelings. So, I wrote back.
"Thank you. I had forgotten that I also took the Earth Space Credit Recovery course while simultaneously taking the Earth Space class. That might explain the sudden disappearance of this biology credit, as class was first listed as Biology 1 Semester 2 Recovery, but then changed to Earth Space Semester 1 when I had finished. I'm delving to the bottom of this mystery, so it no longer impedes my graduation, and I implore you to delve as well. Once again, I thank you for your time, and I hope you wish me luck as I try to solve this mystery." Real hootenanny that email was. So in a genius move, I thought to myself, well, if I took the class, it would have to appear in my academic history. I checked it, and to put it lightly, the Jedi archives are incomplete. This means I have a missing Biology 1 credit that I can't recover. So that is what I'm dealing with right now. The whole reason I made this video in the first place. They misplaced a credit I needed to graduate, told me whoopsie doodles, and then proceeded to do the emotional equivalent of beating me for several hours with a crowbar. I don't think I can easily prove that I took this class without like a PI or a lawyer. So you know who I should call? Now, do me a favor and just go ahead and check the time listed on the video. Go ahead, I'll give you a second.
Five minutes later.
And L is for luck, and it's simple, you see. It means good things always happen to me. My luck stat must be really low. Oh, didn't see you there. Did you finally check the time left on this video? Well, I hope you noticed that there's more, because the school is just that bad. So, did your high school get sued for being transphobic? Because mine did. I live in Cornland, Indiana. It's illegal in Indiana to deny a transgender person access to the bathroom of their corresponding gender. My high school denied a transgender person access to the bathroom of their corresponding gender. If you're asking why? Well, simple answer, they suck. That's why. Polite and friendly office workers who work the front desk once said, "Of course the school supports the LGBTQ community." And then they did that. I don't think you do, ma'am. I don't think you do. They were sued by the American Civil Liberties Department. The Instagram comments for this case were flooded by people from our school. Mainly the sports athletes. And they said some... Gosh, I don't even know where to begin. They said a lot of offensive things with zero repercussions. Many phrases were being tossed around like a hot potato, mainly go piss outside and free R. Kelly. Yes, the man who was convicted for peeing on children. Let's let him out and have him continue to tinkle on toddlers. The American Civil Liberties Department had to disable the comments on the post because those people were just being that nasty. Luckily, however, I did manage to snag one screenshot.
Your definition of corrupt government is ignorance. Flat and simple ignorance. This is against God. Go piss outside for all anyone cares.
Yes, these are the people I took US History 1 with. If the comments weren't deleted, you would have been able to read the statement I left on the post. It was something along the lines of, let me think. I'm utterly ashamed to have to present this school to the future colleges I apply for. Sounds about right. And then I spent the rest of that night bullying the transphobic athletes in the comments section. It was the best night of my life. I kept telling them, thank you for leaving a comment on the post and supporting the cause, and then I linked them to the petition. It was I never got so much adrenaline and happy points. Joyous me. 622 people signed this petition and then left some very amazing comments. If my high school can build an Olympic-sized swimming pool, they can create safe spaces to use the restrooms for trans students. If my high school can put dozens of TVs in the hallways, then they can build genderless bathrooms or at least allow them in the correct damn bathroom. My high school sucks. It's the snakes. My high school sucks snakes. My high school sucks at supporting any student who isn't an athlete. That's funny because it directly transitions to my next point. The Smash Club. Take a second, please, to imagine a lot of the people who've made guest appearances in my videos over the years. To list a few, there was Noirun, Riley, Sumpelwumpy, Clam, Gabe. The list goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. Yeah. A lot of them I had met or bonded with during Smash Club. Smash Club was an after-school video games club primarily focusing on Super Smash Bros. But it was okay for other people to show up and play Rivals of Aether or Brawl Hollow or the such. Of course, it wasn't always fun and games. We'd seen the worst in Smash Club. A former student who was expelled for God knows what reason showed up to our club drunk and then started climbing on the windows that separated our room from the hallway.
Yeah, he's been expelled from numerous different schools, suspended, all that stuff. I don't really know what's going on with him, or what was going on with him, but he just kind of showed up drunk, and I don't really know who let him in, or how he got in, or specifically, stuff like that, because we definitely did not invite him.
That one sure was a doozy, but we persevered. We did receive a number of noise complaints, primarily because some of those Smash games are going crazy. But because of this, we already knew that the school administration wasn't too fond of us. Then we had an incident. Once again, someone who wasn't even a member of the club showed up. He was a freshman, he wasn't drunk or anything. He was just playing Rivals of Aether in the back corner of the room, not really much. Suddenly, he entered into Gorilla Baby Rage mode and hit another kid with a jacket. We assessed the situation. We asked the guy to leave. We checked the other guy for any injuries, and when we noticed he had a smidgen of cut, we just slapped on a band-aid. It was pretty nice. And, consulted a teacher. Everything was all done, fine and dandy, bada bang, bada boom. And then the school administration took Thor's Hammer Mjolnir and just kind of, dropped it on the club. And then they shut the entire club down over a student who wasn't even a member playing a game that wasn't even Smash Bros. We got into a conflict with another student who was in the club. So, I guess that's the only linking factor, and that it also took place in the club. Despite the fact that the situation was handled incredibly well, given it was run by high schoolers, this whole debacle was just uncalled for.
I can kind of understand it, but also at the same time, it's okay, yeah, somebody got hurt, but it was such a minor thing that I don't think you needed to cancel the club over it.
The point I'd like to make is that if the football team, who have received just as many noise complaints, if not more, if they were to do a shenanigan exactly like the one that happened at our Smash Club, they would receive no repercussions. Our school simply just wouldn't bat an eye. They wouldn't have to sit on bench for a game, they wouldn't be pulled out for a season. No, they would just get a little BAD! That's all. Meanwhile, we do the exact same thing, and they grab our wrist, snap it in half, punch us in the face, pick up the crowbar. They beat us for several hours. They really like their crowbars. Our school administration sucks at supporting anything and anyone that isn't a sports athlete. You know, I made a minor attempt at bringing back Smash Club. That same year, I wrote a persuasive essay in my English 10 class, going over everything I just confessed to you. My dealer, and my teacher happily submitted it to the school board administration with my permission. If they said no, they gave me a middle finger emoji and then beat me with a pipe for several hours because they lost the crowbar. They left a bag of flaming turds on my doorstep and they were like, no! Die! Not really, that was a lie for dramatic effect. In reality, I just never heard back from them. I doubt they even received it. You wanna know why? It didn't have football in all caps in the title. My bad. I think being a YouTuber, I'd know how to clickbait people. Apparently not.
Yeah, it was fun while it lasted, but in the end, it was a lot of work for something that none of us enjoyed, making happen anymore. You know, there the entire time, just trying to make sure that nothing bad happened and that everybody got a fair turn to play and stuff like that. So it ended up being more of a task for us than it was doing something that we actually enjoyed doing. So I think overall it's probably it was best that it ended, because then we could just focus on hanging out as friends again, rather than moderating this club that apparently really needed to be moderated.
So, the funniest thing happened. I wrote the whole script for this video, you know, it was just all done. I was going to revise it while I was at school. I was going to finish up the video prior, which was the rocket launcher and a knife fight, and then I was going to start spending my entire week working on this one. But then 5 fights happened at my school at the same time, on the same day. That's never happened before. Here's the big whoop out of all this, okay? I just want to put this one out there. There was one quote-unquote fight that was very visibly a student being very one-sidedly bullied. They were pushed onto the ground and dragged across the floor. There was video footage of this. It was all captured. And, you know, the school saw this and they didn't do anything about it. So it sounds like the school is gonna get sued again. These events just made me want to make this video even more than I already did. Knowing the actions that take place by the higher-ups of this building makes me wish I could email it to them on the last day of school, knowing full well they can't do anything about it. I hope. I did do a lot of research on defamation law, so don't even try me. I'm this close to being a lawyer. And I'll see you in court, psych. Because we're not going, I hope. Please don't sue me. I was a very art-oriented kid. I mean, look at this painting. Huh? And given the fact that my main hobby right now is being a one-man YouTube channel, I think it's pretty obvious. So my freshman year of high school, I signed up for both a drawing class and a painting class. Now, I only got the drawing class that year, which was mid, because the teacher was very mean, specifically towards Riley. She hated Riley, saying that he needed to redo drawings because they were too edgy. But that basically goes against the basic fundamentals of art. There's no such thing as too anything. Whatever. It's a losing track.
What'd you think of our old drawing class that we had freshman year?
It was interesting.
Interesting. Would you like to elaborate?
No.
Anyway, I signed up once again to be in the painting class my sophomore year. Only the painting class, nothing else. I wasn't feeling dangerous that year. And my counselor, he put me in jewelry. It's not painting. How did you make that mistake? What? I didn't sign up for a jewelry class. I don't remember doing that. Put things into perspective, that exact same year, he also put me in an extended math class that was supposed to help me with my geometry class. He just didn't have the brain power capable to also put me in the said geometry class. I was being handed math problems that I didn't know how to do and being told to do them or they would break out the crowbar. I don't know why I was so surprised when he lost my biology credit given his track record, so I brought this up to my counselor. I told him I didn't want to be in jewelry. There was a lot of pyrotechnics involved in jewelry and
Fuck this shit.
yeah, given my track record, no. I really didn't trust myself around fire and molten metal and things I needed to put on my finger. So I asked him politely, may I please be removed from the class that I really didn't ask for or want, and be put in the class that I did ask for and really did want. And he said no. And I saw him reach for that crowbar. And he put me in geometry. A little bit too late for that, but good attempt. And then I proceeded to sign up for painting every single year left I had of high school. I am now attending the final semester of my senior year of high school. And I now, after 4 whole years, have the painting class. Where do you think I got this from? The painting class. And because it took him until my senior year for him to finally put me in painting, I am no longer eligible to take Painting 2, the sequel to Painting, which after taking Painting 1, the prequel to Painting 2, I would have absolutely loved. Thanks for nothing, bud. Okay. Let me explain by starting off, I am not racist. At least I hope so. But there is a school administrator that does think I am incredibly racist. Let me begin. Now, this is the same math class I was put in that gave me the problems that I had no idea how to solve. As you could tell by that, I obviously did not care for the class. The really old and bald teacher at the front of the class was running a Kahoot that day. Now, if you have 2 brain cells like most people, you know how a Kahoot works. Open a tab, you put in the code. You put in a nickname, bada bing, bada boom, you're in. But, let's go rewind back to step 1, you open a tab. You can do that more than once, you get more than 1 tab. So, let's do this. Open a tab, put in the code, nickname, racial slur. What? It was someone in the far back corner of the room, surprise, surprise, the football players. I knew it was them because they were very audibly and visibly getting a real hoot and holler over this. Now, this teacher is one of those types that probably couldn't tell you what a JPEG is, and he really just wanted to picture the goddamn hot dog. So he looked at the people listed in the Kahoot, looked at the people who weren't listed in the Kahoot, and put 2 and 2 together. Now, let me tell you, Riley and I sure did pick a bad time to start playing Pokemon Emerald in class. So Riley and I, alongside 2 other guys, were unjustly whisked away out of the class and into the administration office. Keep in mind that Riley and I had absolutely no idea why this happened, because we were playing Pokemon Emerald in class and not paying attention, as we should have been doing. The lady in the desk calls us into her chambers, one at a time, starting with the 2 unnamed individuals, and then Riley.
Yeah, luckily I was on good terms with her, unlike the teacher. So she asked me, like, yeah, what's going on? I was like, I have no clue. And she filled me in, and apparently what happened was like, oh yeah, I was sleeping. I lied to her.
Riley somersaults out of the room, and then she beckons me in. And before I sit down, she says with a straight face, "Why did you do it?" Lady, listen, just because I'm the last suspect you asked doesn't immediately make me guilty. Have you never heard of innocent until proven guilty? So I told her, "Do what, Your Honor?" And using her very excellent administrative skills and deductive reasoning, she asked, "You tell me!" So, I told her, "Lady, listen. Me and my friend were playing Pokemon Emerald in class. That's all. So, what am I being convicted for? Now, you see, that should have solved the problem, you know? Except it didn't. She believed in Riley.
I lied to her.
You told her you were sleeping.
It was
She-
that or I wasn't paying attention, but even then, not paying attention could correlate to me playing Pokemon.
Yeah. And you said you were on good terms with her?
I was.
No wonder she didn't believe me. She thought I was the one who did it, and then I sat there and explained to her how Kahoot works.
I don't remember. Did you end up getting detention because of it, or the
No.
other people?
Luckily, there was no evidence to prove that it was me who did it. In fact, she didn't tell anyone. It was very clear that I was utterly confused, baffled, and just very angry at what was going on because I was being unjustly accused for something I had no idea what the hell was going on.
Now, the situation was pretty goofy, and luckily I didn't see any jail time. I only got yelled at a lot for something I had no hand in doing, and it took them 20 minutes to let me know what I supposedly was convicted for. And the fact that they opened up with, "Why did you do it?" left much to be desired. If this is how they deal with disciplining our students, no wonder we have so many troublemakers. Because you turned them into troublemakers. Now, I don't remember who this lady is, and I worked very hard in this video to explicitly not make fun of any members of the school staff out of fear of them seeing this. But lady, you're really bad at your job. We need urinal dividers, goddang it. The school is the reason I made the whole urinal divider rant in the first place. Hissing at school is a major chore. Also, the bathrooms constantly smell like weed. I was taking a leak in the bathroom the other day. I go to wash my hands, and behind me, for no reason, this guy just punches another guy across the face. The whole bathroom just erupts in a guffaw of astonishment. Gee willikers, am I astonished! This was loud enough to attract the entire janitorial staff, who then came in and proceeded to yell at absolutely everyone, including me, the innocent urinator. Does everyone in this whole school think that everyone is guilty for everything? Because I am 0 for 2 and very upset. I've been having stomach problems recently, and at the time, I also really needed to shit. The bathroom reeked of weed, as it normally does. And this bathroom, for some reason, only has 1 toilet stall and 3 urinals, and that's all. And sitting on that porcelain throne, my feet were clearly visible, dangling. So, because of prior events and the track record this school has with disciplining their students, why did you do it? I was afraid a janitor or teacher would walk in, take a nice deep breath of that nice skunk smell, see the 2 dangling feet, and immediately point the finger and say, "Guilty, Your Honor! Off with his head!" So I did the only rational thing I can think of given these really unfortunate circumstances. I tried to shit as loudly as possible. So that way they know I'm not there to 420 blaze it. No. I'm there to number 2 glaze it. And glaze it I did. It was a cacophony of bowel movements I can't even begin to describe. I invented this new method of shitting. I'd like to teach it to you. Okay, so you suck it in, you hold on tight, you charge it, it's like a charge shot, okay? And then you build up all that energy and you just let it all go. You let it all go at once. You push it out. You're like, whoo! You squeeze it out, okay? I call it the shotgun shit because that is exactly what it is. It's splat, it blasts, and it's loud. And the shotgun shit method worked very well. So well, in fact, the bathroom didn't even smell like weed anymore. Time passes, and my stomach is once again banishing me to the bathroom. Luckily enough, however, as soon as I take a seat upon the porcelain throne, a little visitor came by. He chose to sit down in the stall next to me. He wasn't even trying to hide it. I look over, his pants are still on. So, I thought it would be funny if I... Fuck! He then, extremely startled, immediately got up from the toilet and left without washing his hands. Now that is gross. Everyone in our school collectively agrees that the Wi-Fi is god-awful. On most days, it runs as slow as a Microsoft Windows 98 computer, and on other days, it doesn't work at all, which is a major problem since ever since the COVID-19 pandemic, we've been moved more towards an electric curriculum. An electronic-based curriculum is more difficult when the electronics don't work. Let's give the school the benefit of the doubt, you know, like, maybe they simply don't have the funds to up their Wi-Fi gig speed. Except that would be a blatant lie! I'd like to remind you of the aforementioned Olympic-sized swimming pool, which no one asked for and we don't need, because the pool we had before was good enough. And the unused televisions, which after 4 whole years they finally decided to use. And you know, instead of displaying actually important school information, like when our half days are, which by the way, I didn't know we had a half day last Friday until I showed up and it was half day. No, they display live CCTV footage of random places in the world for no reason.
Everybody's supersonic racing, try to keep your feet right on the ground. When you're supersonic racing, there's no time to look around.
I don't care what's going on in this random street in Algeria. I just want to know when prom is. My girlfriend had to tell me. Summarize my high school. Well, it's run by people who don't know what they're doing, who only really care when it's about another sports trophy to go on their shelf, who actively do not listen to their students, who waste their money on things we don't entirely need, and at the end of the day, they actively suppress the students of the LGBTQ community, and then say, well, they're working on creating a safe student environment. Hell, I doubt they support most of their students in general. Well, unless you're in sports, then you can say all the racial slurs you want. So, in conclusion, my high school sucks, and I hate it. I can't wait to graduate. I'm out of this hellhole. I'm never looking back. Hasta la vista, suckers! But don't just take my word for it. No! Take these guys'. For starters, my school is a 2.1 star review on Google. Something suspicious I've noticed is that every review is from 4 years ago. They have to be deleting the recent reviews. They just have to be. Most of these reviews talk about the constant construction that was going on, which isn't even prevalent anymore, because they finished.
They did, but they didn't. It's almost as if they gave up, it seems. Like, you have to go like certain hallways and you could just tell that they didn't do this, and they just said they did. They painted over it or something.
But there was one kind of aged review that stuck out to me a little bit.
Honestly, I wish I could rate a 0. I attended classes here every day, and I get bullied constantly. There are no signs saying where construction is and if you find a way around it, so you always run a risk of getting harmed. Practically the entire school is a hard hat zone, but we can't even wear our hoods up. The school is biased towards white, rich, popular girls who are the definition of Jersey Shore with fake blonde hair, bad fake tans, and who are so scrawny you would think they were very ill. There's absolutely no tolerance for open LGBTQ plus community, minus one club that most of us are too afraid to say we attend. A Hispanic student gets called out regularly in U.S. history, and I have seen teachers participate in bullying. I was forced into classes I didn't even need or want. The school is so full of chemicals and general hazards, and everything, everywhere, smells disgusting.
This stood out to me because I also completely forgot that most of the time, the science hallways in particular, reek of an odor so bad it makes me want to vomit out the horrible chicken sandwich I had for lunch. And then also that one very blatantly racist U.S. history teacher. Given his topic, I'm very surprised. After realizing all of the Google reviews were from 4 years ago, I decided, well, I needed some more recent ones. So here we are.
If you had to describe the school, just how would you describe the school? What are your thoughts and feelings about the school that we currently attend?
So our high school was interesting in the fact that they seemed to simultaneously care but also not care, which is really fascinating to me because normally you can only care or not care, but somehow they did both.
Likes to act like they're sanitary. They're not sanitary. Oh my god, do you remember at the beginning of the year, like, the principal got up on stage and was like, everyone follow us on Twitter. And everyone was like, no.
That's just disappointing, honestly. You'd think that they'd know a little bit more for as much as they claim to care.